Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to work on some sunflower ephemera today. I have my book here, and I did go ahead and sew in the signatures. I can't remember, it's been so long since I did the part one. It's been at least a week between, probably 10 days. I don't remember if I showed you what I've got in here. So this is one of the background pages. I have an envelope. This is a number 10 envelope. I just folded over an inch and I sewed all the way around. So we've got a tuck spot on this side and a tuck spot here. And especially with all of these pieces of ephemera, I wanted some extra places to tuck things. I've got a piece of ledger. I think I want to coffee dye these eventually because they're so stark, but for this it worked out perfectly because I have these two tan pages. I printed the collection, the journal bundle, on this tan paper, so it did make it very vintage looking, and I really like that. So I do have lots of writing space. There's another background page. I don't know how I ended up with two of these together. I usually pay more attention to that. Here's a dictionary page that has a little flower, a little sunflower on it. Another tan page. Here is a Chili's silverware bag. I don't know if I take that off what's going to happen. I probably will take off this piece, but I figured we can cover that. And another background page, a doily, another background page. Actually, this is a journal page. This is a background page. And then some music, paper. I have an old, it's called Let Us Have Music for Piano. And I think it's an old, well, I thought it was an old band book. It kind of looks like a school book, but it's called Let Us Have Music for Piano, Volume 1. Another tan page. This is a coffee dyed coloring page, and these, I don't know that they're sunflowers, but they just kind of had that look. The edges are kind of torn and tattered, which I like. And then this is the center page, and I did use the envelope from the collection, and I did a three-ring binding, 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and then I closed up the envelope. So that's our center. I go a little bit quicker on this side, so that's not that there's anything different, because this is just the back side of that first signature, the other side of the Chili's bag. I really like these pages. And the ledger, the other side of that envelope, you can see it's the same on this side. And we have the tuck spot. And then there is a 1/2 inch. I don't know if you remember, but I did a 1.5 inch spine. I came in a 1/2 inch to sew the first signature, and I came in on this side 1/2 inch to sew the first signature. This is the second signature, and then that left me a 1/2 inch in between, and you can see that here is the stitching, like so. The thing I like about this soft spine is that when you are working in this journal, it's relatively flat. Yeah, it's going to be bumpy based on whatever you put in this journal, but excuse me, it's well, at least I'm consistent. I have these two pages together here too. Why did I do this one? Seed. This one has seeds. Okay. And there we go with the doily, music paper. Like I said, I know I repeat myself, but lots of writing space. And then this one, I just liked the dragonflies. Trying to use up some of the things on my desk and in my files, and not just keep collecting things. It's the other envelope. I don't know if you can see the little 3-hole pamphlet stitch locked inside. So as you get the idea. It's the same with the music and the papers and such on this side. So yeah, that was really easy to put together. And like I said, even when you're over here, you know, it's going to lay relatively flat. You're not fighting for the book, you know. So that right there is still a little bit shows me I have enough room because it's actually curving down. I have enough room to add lots of ephemera. So that's what we're going to do. And this journal collection, well, I have a bunch of stuff from Tsunami Rose. Daisy is so generous to her design team members, and so I just wanted to play with everything. But she has two sunflower journal kits, I believe. And then she has a background, she has a fussy cut, and I did not even get everything that was in there. So in the description box below, I do have the links to some of what I used. Excuse me, I don't know what the problem is. And then you can just search on her Etsy page. I put in sunflower and a bunch of stuff comes up. So anyway, let's make this. Isn't that cute? Even if I do say so myself, I want to put this on a page. So I went through and I made one. Let's put this on here so you can see what it will look like. This will go on a page like this, and then the tag will go back here like such. Now I may have to cut off the bottom of that tag a smidge, because otherwise I'm going to have it hanging out the top of the book, which is not a big deal. But I took one of the yeah, this was 2 journal pages, and I had print these out on cardstock, and then I just trimmed off the piece. So this was a writing page that I turned into a tag. So I did that with 2 of them. Here's the other piece, and I'm keeping these because those will be tucked somewhere, but that's the general idea for this one, and I thought that looked really cute. So I'm just going to put this up here out of the way and keep this where I can see it so I don't forget what I did. So I suppose we can start with the tag, because the tag is pretty basic. I inked around it. I've already clipped the corners, inked around it, and put some seam binding. Excuse me. I haven't been talking today. The kids are all busy doing stuff, and I think I did talk to the kids for a little bit earlier, but mostly it's just talking to the cat and the dog. Okay, and I am going to, I was just watching one of my old videos to figure out how to do one of the pieces that I wanted to do for this. And I heard myself say, I want to get some off-white cardstock. And I never did get any off-white cardstock. I know there used to be, and I don't know anymore, but at Walmart they used to carry a pack of cardstock that had like 4 different shades of, from off-white to tan to like a caramel and a brown. There was a similar one at Joann's that they used to carry, but gosh, I can't tell you the last time I was at Joann's. And I need to look at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's on my side of town now. I'm so blessed to have that, because for so long it was so frustrating. We moved to this side of town, and they had built, I used to live behind a Ben Franklin 30 years ago. And I shopped at Ben Franklin, and they closed and built a brand new store way out here. Well, there was a little Joann's. I mean, just a tiny one. Like, I want to say maybe double a 7-Eleven size. Just small. And we always would either go to Joann's or Joann's was way out here on this side of town. I lived on the other side of town at the time. And I'm going to ink while I talk. And so anyway, we didn't go to Joann's very often. We would go to Ben Franklin's because it was by our house. Well, they closed that one, built a new one over here on this side of the town by Joann's. And I came out here probably, gosh, maybe 3 or 4 times because I really missed Ben Franklin's, but we didn't have Walmart in town at that time. We didn't have Walmart in town until after I got married. And I'm just gluing this as a pocket down here on the bottom. Anyway, I used to hear people rave about, oh, you'll love Walmart, has so many crafts and fabric and a little bit of everything. And I was like, huh, that sounds strange, because I had never been to a Walmart. And anyway, Ben Franklin's was only open for maybe a year, and they closed the doors. And then our Joann's closed because they built a new store. And guess where they built it? Well, by this time, I live on this side of town, and they built it on the other side of town. So I was like, I can't win. So when I would want to go somewhere, oh, by the way, it's 2 blocks from Michael's, which I never really cared for, because when I go in there, I'll say, do you have such and such? No, we don't carry that. And they'll walk away. And then I will go around on the next aisle and find it. And then I'll say, do you have, one time I went in there and I said, do you have shrink ink plastic? And she goes, no, we don't carry anything like that. I never heard of such a thing. It was on the scrapbook aisle, shrink plastic. I was looking for I think it was a crocodile I was looking for. And the lady said, no, we don't carry anything with that. I would have remembered that name. It was right on the end cap from where I was talking to her. So I just quit going to Michael's because I felt like, they didn't know what they were talking about half the time. And probably that's just because of the turnover. But anyway, when Joann's opened, I would go up to Joann's, but I didn't get to go often because it was too far away. And anyway, it's a nice, big store. And I mean, considering the other one, we also used to have a Hancock's Fabrics, which was nice. And Michael's used to be in the middle of town. But when you get a new place, a new area of town starts to grow, everybody wants to be there. So they get rid of their old stores and they start building up north. And but anyway, they built a Hobby Lobby down in the center of town, so I would go up there. But now there's one, just a couple miles from me, and I've been very good. This year I have only been once. I've only been once, because the last time I was going to go up there, we ended up doing something else. So, but I did go that one time, and I didn't buy anything. I went with my daughter, and she bought flowers. She's making her own bouquets and such for her wedding. So let's see. I have this this card right here, and you can see this is pretty self-explanatory. It's not rocket science here. I have this card that was from the collection. Everything I'm using is from the collection. I don't know why I feel like I have to say that. But this is really cute because I didn't glue this as a pocket. You can open it. And this is in style of, I've seen a lot of people do this, but I think Yvonne does this. Preston. Anyway, so just open it. You can write inside, but I put the pocket, a little card there. This flips down, and then we'll put this little piece of a little, this is from the Fussy cut sheet. I love these Fussy cuts. There's so much detail in here, and the Scan and Cut did a really good job getting around all those pieces. So I'm having, because I have this dome here, having a hard time getting in there. I need a little eyeshadow applicator to get into the little fine spots. I know I've got some around here somewhere. Yeah, we just have too much stuff, don't we? And it's like I have to be careful, because I see stuff and it's like, ooh, I want that too. See, this is white right here. I want this to be not white. I don't want it to be, you know, too brown. I'm using the walnut stain. I'm liking the walnut stain right now. You know how we go through phases. There we go. And so I am just going to glue that down, and I'm only going to glue through the middle here, because I don't want everything sticking together. If I need more glue, I'll add it. But there we go. Just like that. And now I did go over here, but it folds because it's not a pocket. It's not going to bump into anything. It will just lift up. Kind of lined it up with the bottom there. Okay, so there we have our two pieces. And this one has a lot more green, so I decided to put the green tag over here. Although, did you notice, I don't know if you saw that, I say this is green, this one's green, I'm going to put it over here with the orange, but when I put it in there, what pops up? All the orange. And then I will put this one back here, which automatically looks green. Very cool. Alright, so that's two pockets for our journal. And then this one is a decorated CD sleeve. And all I've done is put a little bit of micropore paper tape on there to keep the flap, so that when you're putting things in and out of the pocket, that little flap, little U-shaped flap, doesn't get caught every time. So just a piece of tape on the back. You could use any tape. I just happen to have the micropore in front of me. Use washi tape, whatever. Okay, so what I've done on this one, I've got a little bit of lace on the bottom. These are coffee dyed CD sleeves. And I've got a piece of ruffled fabric, and then I've got some handmade paper, just that green strip. I just felt like it needed something else. It needed a color underneath it. So I put the green strips just about 1/4 of an inch, and then I put that piece of ephemera on top. This was another one of those journal cards. I did cut off about 1 inch off the top of that, and then that goes right in the pocket. So let's make that. I've got all my pieces here. Pull everything out. This, like I said, this CD sleeve has been coffee dyed. And so the first thing I always do, I do this to kind of strengthen the front of the pocket a little bit, is I fold this flap down toward the front, just like that. Okay, I've got this little piece of trim. This is going to go on the bottom. I'm just going to run some glue here. So did I make my point about, I did all that talking about Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby and such. When I lived in Tulsa, I went to Hobby Lobby, and it was like a box store. I mean, literally, I went in there and it was just metal shelves with boxes, and you had to dig through things. There was no showroom like there is now. It's completely different. But anyway, yeah, sometimes I'm doing my editing, and I never get to the point. It's like I start to tell you things and I squirrel, and sorry about that, guys. If it's important, I try to cover it. So I've got this piece of coffee dyed cotton. That's what it is. And I did it about 1.5 inches longer than I needed to. And I'm just going to run some glue here. Just little circles. And start on this end and just kind of crinkle it a little bit as I go. Kind of pinch and line that end up and then adjust. Because sometimes I get, too much in one space. There's no, perfect way to do it. Just because it's going to be in the background anyway. So I'm not worried about the glue coming through. It's coffee dyed cotton, so it's going to look like it's part of the coffee dye. All right, so this is the, I don't know if it's handmade paper. I call it handmade paper because it feels like handmade paper. I got this in a pack of, and I think I have 2 or 3 of them in here from Dollar Tree. And I just got it because there's just such a variety of things in here that I think I had 2 packs. And yeah, so that's where I got this. So it does cut, but not all the way through. So what I did was I lined it up on my 1/4 inch. Went through, probably should go a little more gently, and then I just kind of tore it apart from here because it'll come off now. And I will say you don't want to put the glue on here because it's curly. So I'm going to put a line of glue and then lay it on top like that, because last time I did it differently, and just lay it down like that. It does take a second to, because it's on fabric. If I have it straight, yeah, it looks pretty straight. I just want to give it a second to get some of that glue on there. But see, you get the cutting line, but you also get that tear, a little bit of tearing below it. And then I'm just gonna, no, I'm not. It's very tough paper, so I'm gonna cut that and cut that. I'm trying not to cut the envelope. Okay, and then we'll do this piece. A little bit of ink. So I hope everyone is having a good week, or had a good week. Today is Friday when I'm recording this. Hopefully I'll get this video up today. If not today, it will definitely go up Saturday. But I was going to try and record a few videos. But you have to prep in between, so there is some time involved. So okay, let's see. Yep, get that off of there. I don't know if you can see it, but I think I told you in one of the other videos that when I was using my Scan and Cut, I had to use the glue stick. This was one of them that when I was starting to use the Scotch Create glue stick and it wouldn't come off, it left a residue on the back. But That's not going to matter for what we're using it for. I'm just going to stick that there like that. Hold that down because it does have a little bit of a bump with that that green paper underneath. But I think it's just something, you know, it's the same color as this right here, which is cool. And I have that paper and I forget I have it. It's sitting right here next to me, but I don't use it, so I need to get with the program. All right, now we have this. Now you could leave it like this. Like I said, I cut 1 inch off the top, and then it had a line, so I went back and cut another. So I guess I cut about 1 inch and 1/8 off so that it would be blank at the top, because it just kind of looked like I cut off the top. And I'm looking for my corner rounder. There it is. Yeah, so I'm just going to round the corners. Sometimes when you round the corners, I'm using the 1/2 inch, by the way, it's easier to get into the pockets, for me anyway. So, all right, let's ink this up, and we will have number 2, our number 2 ephemera piece ready to go. Love these images. If you love sunflowers, this is the collection. I am having so much fun, and even the fuzzy cuts, oh my gosh, there's hundreds. I don't know that I'm even going to get through all of these. I'm going to have a lot of leftovers to be throwing some sunflowers here and there for a while. So I'm just going to stick this in the envelope like that, in the CD sleeve. And then I haven't decided exactly, but since there's already a tag in this pocket, I may attach, just glue it on 3 sides and then stick something else in here, because I have a lot of other ephemera pieces that could be tucked in there that would be fun. So, all right, so there's 4 pieces. All right, so this is our last set for today, and this is fun. This is similar to the first one. It's just you could make it a pocket. I did these going, I had my paper horizontally, my 8.5 by 11 coffee dye paper, and I cut these 4.5. Is that right? Yeah, 4.5 and 4.5, and then that left me with a piece. On the first one we did, I did them vertically at 4.25, so one gives you a shorter pocket. I'm thinking we might use these for belly bands, so then just glue on 2 sides and put a tag in between, because I've got a lot of these that could go in the belly band, or we could make something bigger. We'll see. But this is really easy, guys. This isn't going to take any time at all. So I've got my coffee dyed paper. Now the way I folded it is I just folded 2 inches down and overlapped it about 1 inch, and then the shorter one, of course, will be the top. So I took one of the tickets, and let's see if I can get this done before the camera's already gone off once, but see if we can get this done before the camera dies or something. It seems like my battery's not really holding a charge, which is always fun. So let's just centering that between that piece there. Okay. And you can ink this if you want. I'm not really too concerned about that piece. Okay, and then this is one of the pockets that are in the bundle. So there again, this was one of those pages that you can see that Create glue is pretty good. So I'm just gonna stick this on here. This should fit perfectly. Actually gonna line it up at the top of this piece, and then run a piece of crochet trim across the bottom. Okay. And then we have this piece, which we will just put some ink around the edges. I wonder if I can get a little bit more in there if I lay it down and do it. Oh yeah, that's much easier. Why am I doing it such the hard way? That is my way. Okay. And so I can get this video uploading, and then I can go make some, do some more canning. All right, I'm not gluing this. I'm just tucking this in this pocket because it looks cool here. I guess I should make sure that's dry, but I like the way that looks. And it fits perfectly in there. And I can fold that down, and we have two belly bands, pockets, whatever you want to have, you know, use them for. So, okay guys, we've got those two, we've got these two pockets, then we have these pockets. Not enough room on my desk for all of this stuff, but there you go. All right, so we'll be back. I'll probably go ahead and glue these in to the book somewhere, and we'll be back and make some more. See you next time. Bye now. Have a good weekend.